圧倒的な攻撃力で9回を席巻するドジャース大谷翔平、フリーマン。レッツという史上最強の打線が猛威を振るう中、かつての怪物の姿に影が落ちています。そう佐々木朗まれです。パドレス戦での痛打を受け、全米のポッドキャストやメディアは彼の起用法について激しい議論を交わしています。彼の直球は平坦だ、絶対的守護神へ配置転換すべきだという声が殺到し、常勝軍団の中での彼の立ち位置が最大の焦点となっています。最強の矛を持つチームが抱える天才投手の苦悩と復活への道、ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Should we talk about what they should do with Roki Sasaki, or should we just glaze the Dodgers? And sometimes they're playing so well that I want to talk about everybody. So I'm going to throw it over to you first to ask me questions about the Dodgers. That's right. You ask me what I want to talk about.
Nice.
Based on what you want to talk about.
No, floor is yours, Jack, to tee me up for the floor to be mine. That's really good. Okay, so let me just lay this out real quick. The Dodgers had an 809 team OPS for the last 30 days of baseball. That is 7 points higher than the Minnesota Twins. It trails the Chicago Cubs at 835 in terms of a team OPS over the last 26 games. And the fighting Colorado Rockies, who have an 840 team OPS over the last 26 ball games. But the Dodgers being top three, that's not a surprise to absolutely anybody. When you look over the course of the season as a whole, Dodgers are number one in baseball with a 794 team OPS. The Pittsburgh Pirates are second in baseball in team OPS, and they are 35 points behind. They sit at 759, the Dodgers at 794. Why can't they get to a team OPS over 800 by the All-Star break? I'm not sure. Pitching-wise, they look a little bit better. I think the bats are really what has you surprised, right? It just seems like every single time you turn on a Dodger game, they already have 9 runs. Is that where you're going here?
Kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. They just keep taking their game up a level. And we're talking about a team that has won back-to-back World Series. I look at the Dodgers lineup right now with Tommy Edman, who adds just a different layer, with Dalton Rushing coming in and basically replacing, if not more so, Will Smith's production, with Andy Pages being the second best center fielder in baseball behind Pete Crow Armstrong. So that's all well and great. This is like almost new stuff for the Dodgers. I know Andy Pages had a great first half for them last year, but he was basically a defensive replacement in the World Series. Tommy Edman has been hurt a lot, right? And Dalton Rushing wasn't contributing to the team last year. And of course, they have Kyle Tucker, who hasn't even gotten going yet outside of having a little 8 straight AB on base streak, 4 straight walks in the game prior. And then last night's game, I think he went 4 for 4. But it's how good Mookie Betts is looking, and it's how good Freddie Freeman is looking. And then, of course, Shohei Ohtani, that just gets me giddy to turn on the Dodger game every single night, because Shohei is the 3rd best hitter in baseball again by WRC plus, or at least in the top 5. I forget. Sure. I think I checked yesterday and he was 3rd in WRC plus.
Sure.
Mookie Betts has an OPS at around 820 in the month of June. And then of course he had a great game yesterday. And when Mookie Betts is firing on all cylinders, say goodnight. And Freddie Freeman, he's 36. At some point, he's going to slow down, but it ain't yet, folks. And the more I watch Freddie, the more I feel like that's how you should teach your kid how to hit. And Freddie, sometimes his most impressive ABs are the ones where he just takes a walk. It's those counts where he's down 0-2 and he's seen a fastball and a breaking ball already. And pitchers in their mind almost can't get him out with the same pitch twice in a row in the same at-bat. So if he whiffs through a fastball, if you throw another fastball, he's either going to line it to the outfield or he's going to foul it off. He gets to see your slider once, you basically can't throw it again. To get Freddie Freeman out, even at 36 years old, you need a 5-pitch mix and you need to throw all 5 pitches exactly where you want to throw them if you want to get Freddie Freeman out. And again, Max Muncy, probably one of the most underrated hitters in baseball this year because his OPS is in the mid 800s. He's arguably been the best third baseman in baseball, and nobody cares because why would you? He hits fifth or sixth in the lineup. But I promise you, he is such a pain for these pitchers with his ability to rack up pitch counts and then also leave the yard at will. And then we could talk about the pitching, and then we could talk about this incredible bullpen. It's just such a good team, and Kyle Tucker hasn't gotten going, and Will Smith is hurt.
Yeah. Tucker is starting to get going. That is the one thing that I do kind of want to build on. In Tucker's last 10 games, Kyle Tucker hitting .315 with an 890 OPS in his last 10. He's walking. He hit the ball to the ballpark once. He's got 5 driven in. But I think what draws you to the Dodger conversation right now is Mookie and Freddie. And you know, obviously Edman. I think Edman is like the huge, they're actually perfect conversation right there because it was Freeland or maybe Haesung Kim. I think Tommy Edman is the one that actually says, oh, wait, I forgot they have a $75 million player that can play second base. And he was playing center field, but now they have a top 3 center fielder in the sport, in Andy Pages. He's the one that makes them look like the Death Star, in my opinion. But when Mookie is Mookie and when Freddie is Freddie, both those guys are OPSing over 1,000 in their last 10 games. Then Ohtani can become this like superstar that has the best protection that we've literally ever seen. It's an all-star team. It's an all-star lineup, and you cannot prioritize avoiding damage from Shohei Ohtani because Mookie's going to kill you, and Freddie is going to kill you. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is I know the numbers may not indicate that this is a top 5 bullpen in baseball, but this is so far and away the best Dodger bullpen that we've seen in this run. It's not close. They were having serious bullpen issues each of the last 2 years. And we were like, okay, who's going to step up here? Like last year in the postseason, we were talking about Ben Kasparius being the guy to step up and Dreyer being the guy to step up. Now it's like, not only is Tanner Scott pitchable, Tanner Scott has an ERA in the low 2s, and he looks like a legit closer. They're doing this without Diaz. I want to shout out the growth of Edgardo Enriquez.
Yeah.
He was a kid that just threw 102. Now he's he's what I wanted Gratterall to be for a while, where it's like 102 and you can't touch this. You cannot beat him. Enriquez has been nearly untouchable over the last couple of weeks. Dreyer, I think, kicks ass. I love watching him throw.
Vesia kicks ass too.
Vesia kicks ass.
The only pushback I have, all of the analysis on the players is excellent. Is it better than 2024? Because if we remember that Dodgers starting rotation was a little bit barren and all of those guys would come in the 5th inning, but that was a World Series winning bullpen. Like, so maybe they're the same, maybe they're a little bit better, but they have this rock solid bullpen core and then the starting rotation. But Podcast P, you came up here. What's up, dude?
I just really wanted to mention this because I found this stat yesterday and I thought it was fascinating. There's 12 players in Major League Baseball right now, position players, with a WAR over 3. All of them, except one, are under the age of 30. The only one above the age of 30 with a WAR over 3 is Max Muncy at 3.2.
Wow.
And he's 35 years old.
Wow. That's impressive. And Muncy's not a guy that does that with flair. Like it's not, you know, I understand that. What does he grade out as defensively? Like slightly above
really
average,
good this
right?
year. He's pretty good this year. It's a few outs above average, but I mean, it's just the fact that he hits and he's holding his own at the hot corner. And while a lot of the Dodgers players have gone through some waves, he's just been there producing.
I have kind of dunked on Muncy in previous years where I'm just like, it's not fun to watch. And still at points, I don't think it's super fun to watch. But at the end of the day, he's having his best year in 5 years. Like he looks like the most complete version of himself that he has in the last half decade.
And you also got to remember, like, it's pretty hard for older hitters to compete in Major League Baseball now.
Yes.
But not only is Max Muncy competing, he's 10 years older than the average player with 3 WAR right now. The average player with 3 WAR right now is around 25 years old. He's 35. This is a minor league signing.
That kind of reminds me in the NFL when you have like a top 10 quarterback conversation and it's all the new guys coming up, like when Mahomes and Allen and Lamar Jackson and Burrow.
Oh, and don't forget about Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had like a 35-year-old Rodgers or Brady just kind of sitting there as one of the league leaders in passing yards, right?
Yeah.
Matt Stafford just beating out Drake May for the MVP. It's like these guys just stand the test of time. And I think the biggest reason Muncy is because the power has not left him. And it's just annoying ABs. He never expands the zone. He makes you come to him, and you blink and he's on the 7th pitch of the AB, and he's either walking or, I think he's done a pretty good job of, moving runners over, getting the sac fly, having productive ABs. And then, of course, the homers and driving in runs are always going to be there. And you already mentioned it, Peyton, with the defense, but TN Overland in our YouTube comment section said the same thing. Max Muncy has taken a massive leap defensively over the last couple of years. And again, he's just one cog in the engine. It's like, I almost think of it's like one of those cars that looks really good, but is also fuel efficient. Like they're just good at everything.
Like my 2019 Volkswagen Jetta that I got at Andy Moore VW.
Exactly like your 2019 Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah, that I got at Andy Moore VW in Avon. The other guy that I want to shout out right now is, and he's not part of the postseason rotation. He's not, but I guess I'm just done hearing the hate and the regression forecasting for Robleski. Like it's robo time right now.
The thing is, I don't even think it matters if he regresses a little bit.
It
Because I
doesn't,
think
but
he's kind of
Sheehan also has a 5, and Roki has a 5, and I know we want to get into the Roki conversation.
Yeah, with Robleski, his fastball is one of the most valuable pitches in baseball by run value. Is he going to have blow-up starts? Probably. But is he a good back end of the rotation starter? Yeah. So, no. Is he going to pitch to a low 2s? No. But is he still going to be really solid? Yeah, probably. So I'm not even worried about his regression.
Dude, so I just want to give you 3 starts that he made in June. He made 5 starts in He made 5 starts in June. He had a 2.6 ERA and 30 2/3. He punched out 24 and walked 4. But this guy on June 4th in Arizona, hitter-friendly environment, 6 scoreless, 4 Ks, no walks. This guy against Tampa, a lineup that can be frisky, 6 scoreless, 5 punch-outs, no walks. And then in Sacramento at the Sut, which is about 5 blocks that way right now, Robleski goes 7 innings, a 3-run ball. He does allow a home run, but 11 Ks and no walks. Robleski is so good at not giving in to anyone. He never mechanically gets out of whack, it seems. And he just he's so fiery. He's such a competitor. And I know the Dodgers fans can attest to this, but this guy just seems like someone you would love to have on your team and would piss you off if he was piecing you up on the other side. And I derive so much enjoyment from watching Justin Robleski right now. I hope they keep him in the rotation and they kind of, taper into the postseason. I just wonder what the postseason usage is going to look like for a guy like Robleski.
I mean, he's been a weapon out of the bullpen before, or he could be a weapon starting a game where you might go opener and then him for 4 innings. I mean, the Dodgers can do whatever they want. They have one problem.
Whatever.
They have one problem. And that problem is Roki Sasaki. Roki last night was getting pieced up by a bad Padres offense. A couple days ago, I checked the WRC Plus leaderboards, and the Padres ranked dead last. Just in the first inning, the first pitch Roki Sasaki throws, it's a low and in fastball, and Tatis, who's, been okay this year, a lack of barrels, barreled the shit out of it. Next pitch, right? So Tatis is on second. Next pitch, bounces a splitter, I think, before it even got to home plate. There was really nothing Rushing could do about it. He went to go block the ball, and I think it bounced off his right shoulder because it wasn't even close. 2 really bad pitches off the jump. And then Manny Machado goes yabo on another fastball. His fastball is just a barrel finder. And I'm even watching the angle from behind home plate on a replay. It looks straight as an arrow. Because I'm sure some people are wondering, how can his fastball be bad when he's averaging 97.5 miles an hour? Well, number one, velocity to these guys, to these great MLB hitters, or even average MLB hitters, doesn't matter. You need the shape. That's why all these teams are hunting shape and induced vertical break and spin rate and all that stuff, right? Roki doesn't have that. It is a flat fastball. Roki is at his best when he's sitting 100 miles an hour like he was in Japan, or in spurts through starts, or when he was in the bullpen. that's when that fastball will play. And then when he's not pinpoint with his other off-speed pitches and he has to come back into the zone with his fastball, that's where you see it just unravel. And last night was another example, but I'm not just taking one start and killing the guy. This is now back to back to back to back starts where he's getting crushed, not beat, crushed. And again, it's not like he went up against the Dodgers. He went up against the Padres, who for the majority of the season haven't been able to hit water if they fell off a boat. Yeah. I will stick on the point that I brought up even before the season. I don't understand the reluctancy to make Roki a lockdown closer. We've seen it in the playoffs. He looked like Yohan Duran. He's got the splitter from hell. And when he's in one inning spurts, he's sitting 101. He had a ton of confidence in that role, did it well. And it's not like this is the Yoshinobu Yamamoto contract where you sign him to a 12-year deal worth $350 million and you kind of have to get him to work. You signed him for almost nothing because it was kind of a quasi minor league deal. They're not financially obligated to make him a starter. Like, I understand why they want to, because he clearly has potential.
Yeah.
But what has he shown anybody that makes you think that he should be a starter moving forward?
So what I'll say about the kind of deal that he signed is the Dodgers are obligated to Roki Sasaki, and they likely feel like they need to fulfill the commitment to Roki, and they can't treat him like any other guy in baseball making the major league minimum. Roki Sasaki created a bidding war in international free agency. It's not professional free agency that net Yamamoto $325 or even net Seiya Suzuki a couple of years ago $85-90 million from the Cubs. The only previous example of this is Ohtani. And Ohtani created a bidding war. And remember, Ohtani coming stateside was a serious free agency push. I mean, I understand that the salary may not indicate that this is a huge commitment to Roki Sasaki, but at the end of the day, the Dodgers made a huge commitment to Roki Sasaki. They torpedoed the rest of their IFA class. They needed to clear the way. They had pre-negotiated agreements that they needed to breach because of getting Roki Sasaki. And then some of those guys were scrambling. When you punt an IFA class, you have a commitment to this guy. For Sasaki, I don't think that's fair. I don't think you can say so what. I understand that you're in the business of winning games, but at the end of the day, Roki Sasaki was a humongous lift for them 2 years ago. He was.
I know. But and I'm not saying anything what you're saying is, it's probably what they're thinking. My response is, so what? Your goal is to win baseball games. Roki, if you become one of the best closers in baseball, you're going to have a job for a long time. I don't get it. You're better in that role so far. Why? Because they punted an international free agent class when they already have 7 top 10 outfielders. They have arguably the best system in baseball. Why does that matter? And I'm sure they're saying that internally. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying I don't care about it if I was them. None of that matters to me. Make the team better. This is a young player. Dominate this closer role. Get a bunch of confidence. And then maybe you can transition to a starter with another team. But for our Dodgers, you got to close because you're a beast in that role.
The other thing situationally is you can't have him close right now because Tanner Scott looks like one of the better closers in the game. And Edwin Diaz is going to come back at some point, too.
Put him in the 7th, too. Create just the 3 horsemen. Also, they have 6 guys. Call it 4, 5, 6. You see Brock Stewart last night?
You see Will Klein over the last month?
I know him, too. They're so good.
They're so good. So, I understand that you can hide Roki, but they are I think at the point of the agreement, and there could be something written down contractually that is saying they're going to exhaust all options in terms of making him a good starting pitcher. And that doesn't mean keep on rolling him out there to get shelled. I could totally see a reset in Oklahoma City. I'm just saying there is an obligation to Roki Sasaki here for the Dodgers. And it's just it's funny the way that we talk about baseball, because 3 weeks ago I was sitting here saying Roki has arrived. Roki Sasaki had a 4-start stretch from May 17th until June 5th where he fired 24 1/3 innings of 4 earned run baseball. He punched out 29 and walked 5. It was a 1.5 ERA over 4 starts. And then what does he do in the 4 starts following that? 4 1/3, 7 earned, 5 2/3, 3 earned, 4 innings, 3 earned, and then that blow up against the Padres last night. It's like this game works in ebbs and flows, and sometimes all-stars look awful, and sometimes bad players look like all-stars. Like, you guys just had the Skeens conversation the other day, man. It's amazing how quickly things can turn on a dime. We could be sitting here 3 weeks from now and saying, all right, Skeens is Nolan Ryan again. Let's go.
I mean, of course, if he rattles off a bunch of starts in a row and the fastball velocity looks good, I'll eat my words. I'm just saying this is not a new take for me. This has been a take. I just feel like he's better in that role. Now you can say, well, they have Tanner Scott and Edwin Diaz. How is he going to close? I don't know. Figure it out. Put him back there throwing 102 miles an hour with that splitter, and nobody's going to touch him. But in the rotation, when he's averaging 97.5 and that fastball is flat, teams like the Padres can beat the crap out of him. And you also mentioned, too, at the beginning of this segment, that it could be, are the Dodgers really this good or are the Padres that bad? You guys know me. One of my biggest futures this year, Padres under wins, Padres to miss the playoffs. I have been on that train. This was not that. What, the Padres' one mistake where Yuki Matsui had a pass ball to score the Dodgers' 10th run? No. Everyone was barreling everything. Wandy Peralta has been a great reliever this year. Dodgers put him in his back pocket. Yuki Matsui, been a great reliever this year. Nice try. Not against the Dodgers, right? It doesn't matter. Randy Vasquez has had a decent year. Bombs away. Dodgers bullpen comes in, shuts the door. It's weird that the only runs that the Padres scored against Roki. Yeah. There were 6 more innings of Dodgers bullpen arms. Nope. They had 10 hits. I don't think they made an error. The Dodgers it didn't matter who was on the other side.
Yep.
When the Dodgers are like this, with Edman, with Pages, with rushing, with Tucker heating up, with Mookie, Freddie, and Ohtani playing like Hall of Famers, didn't even mention Teoscar. They're unstoppable. And I love watching them. People give them so much shit. I don't care. It's perfect.
今のドジャースはまさに死の星と呼ばれるほど圧倒的です。大谷ベッツフリーマンの存在が目立ちますが、誠に称賛すべきは35歳にして勝利貢献度であるオーガさんを超えるマックスマンシーです。彼は決してゾーンを広げず、出塁率プラス長打率であるオプスも非常に高く、守備でも大きな飛躍を遂げました。一方、投手陣に目を向けると、故障者リストの影響を感じさせない分厚いリリーフ陣が光ります。しかし、最大の懸念は佐々木朗まれです。パドレス戦で見せたかの直球は球速こそ平均90しなり5マイルありましたが、軌道が平坦で縦の変化に欠けていました。セーバーメトリクスの観点からも、打者のスイングを外すピッチデザインの再構築が必要です。先発として防御率やフィップが悪化している今、1イニングあたりの出塁許容数であるウィップを求めるためにも、100マイル超えの剛球と悪魔のようなスプリットを活かせる守護神への配置転換をゲームマネジメントの一環として決断すべき時期かもしれません。自動ストライク判定チャレンジが導入される現代野球において、スイーパーやカッターと並ぶ絶対的な決め球を持つ彼は、リリーフでこそサイ・ヤング賞クラスの輝きを放つと信じています。キャッチャーのピッチコーリングも含め、首脳陣の決断に注目です。皆さんは、佐々木投手は先発に固執すべきだと思いますか？それとも絶対的守護神として再起すべきだと思いますか？ぜひコメント欄で皆さんの熱い分析を聞かせてください。最後までご視聴いただき、本当にありがとうございました。常勝軍団の未来を左右する佐々木投手の起用法について皆さんのご意見をコメント欄でお待ちしております。この動画が面白いと思っていただけたら、ぜひチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。それでは、また次回の動画でお会いしましょう。